burning. Hi, it's Vaughan at westcoastbellpottery.ca in Nova Scotia, Canada. Glad you can join me. I'm going to do a Raku video because I promised the Vevor kiln people that they sent me that kiln. I did one review for regular firing, and now I want to do the Raku one, which is what the kiln I think was intended for. But I just wanted to stress that basically you have to make sure that you've got a really safe situation in the studio. The kiln should be 12 inches at least away from any flammable surface. Just like any kiln that you buy today, they ask you to put it at least 10-12 inches away from a wall. Basically just make sure you've got, I would say, a fire extinguisher just in case handy, or a garden hose because you should be carrying the pieces outside to actually put them in a sawdust barrel. But just be really careful. Gloves, eyeglasses or something, just in case. I mean, it's a pretty safe thing to do. It's just that you have to be sensible about it. So just kind of enjoy the video. It's going to be all about the Raku at the beginning, and then I'm going to do a whole section on throwing T-balls at the end of the video. I mixed up a bunch of glazes for cone 04. I got them sitting there, and it's out of the book I got Amazing Glaze, I think is the name of it. So I've got Rick's Blue, Red, Burgundy Matte, and Beatenberg Crackle. I glazed this piece about 15 minutes ago, and so it should be getting a little dry, but I'm going to light my wood stove and just put it on top of there to actually heat it up a little bit so we can make sure it's dry, because it would explode if you put it into a Raku kiln with any moisture at all in the clay. So it's got to be absolutely dry. I'm in a bit of a rush because it's getting late tonight. So there's my pot. I'm drying it out on a plank in my wood stove. I'm going to make sure it doesn't get too hot because I don't want it to blow up. But because it's on that plank, I'm figuring I got some heat without actually direct heat on it. And it will dry out within maybe 5 minutes at the most. While I'm waiting for the pot to dry, remember this from last winter? I've got all my flowers around here. This shows this kiln is about 1.5 feet from those actual shelves, and it's about 1 foot away from those flowers. But it just shows you can put this kiln anywhere you want. Can I touch it? Yep, I can put my hand on it. It's a bit hotter on the back, but I can touch it. And it's at temperature now. Here's my pot in my wood stove drying out. So you can see I am really making sure this piece is thoroughly dry before I try putting it in the Raku kiln, because that plank is now burning right underneath the piece. So there must be no moisture left in there at all. So I have this so hot that I can't touch it now, so I know it's thoroughly dry. So if you were doing this, just make sure that there's no moisture, because the last thing you want to do is start putting it in here and the piece actually explodes as soon as it goes in the kiln with the door open and you're standing there. So this is obviously dangerous, and you've got to make sure that the pot is thoroughly dry. So I would glaze the pieces the day before, let them dry naturally. If you want to be really sure, put them in the oven for half an hour at just like 200 degrees, and then they'll be thoroughly dry. But that's the biggest danger about doing Raku, is the pieces can crack, and if you've got moisture in them, literally they could explode, especially if you're putting in solid pieces of clay that have been modeled by hand, like those sculptures, because those actually would hold the moisture a lot longer. This is thrown, it's really thin, I throw very thin, so it was in the wood stove maybe 10 minutes or so, and it was really kind of steaming at first, and now it is thoroughly dry. So I've got my thermocouple tester on this kiln. There's a thermopyrometer going in there, and I have the other one up here, which is just not even in the kiln, so it's just testing a regular air temperature. And this kiln I've set at 960, because remember in my last level kiln, this kiln overfires. So you've got to test before you do it. And so I have this at 960, and on my own thermocouple it's reading 1076. And cone 404 is 1060 centigrade. So basically this thing is actually overfiring. It's a little overfired at this point, but I don't think that would matter. Now I'm going to make sure I'm safe here, because I'm going to get my clothing so it's out of the way. I'm going to put the piece in the kiln. So I'm going to move this out of the way. They give you these gloves. I'm not sure if they're I don't think they're Kevlar or something, but they're very thick, and so they should be fine for me. I'm going to lift it by putting it around like that, and then basically put it in the kiln with the door open. So you'll see how hot it is, and then it's got to go back to the regular temperature. Oh, it's that hot. Now I'm going to leave it till it gets back to temperature, because it cooled down quite a bit there. It's down to 897, 895, so now it's going back up again. It wasn't too bad. I could feel some heat just coming up on my face. If you're worried about it, I would wear some safety glasses or something, but I've got regular glasses on. I think it was fine. I didn't even feel anything hot. It was just you feel the heat a little bit. So it's down to 866 because the pot is cooling down the inside. So we've got to wait till it goes back up to 960, and it's up to 960. Yep, still struggling. It's trying to go up again. But the pot is cooling down the inside a little bit. Now, what am I doing? I have my canning pot here full of some straw. There's some wood chips on the bottom, and I've got some larger pieces of wood around it a little bit, just so it'll burn a little bit more. I don't know how long it's going to burn. Put the lid on this, it should actually, completely dampen it down. I'd be outside on a concrete block or gravel area with a water hose handy, just in case, or a fire extinguisher, whatever, because you don't want to have an accident when you're doing this. Raku is actually fun. And a lot of people have parties, like Raku parties. So when you get the hang of it, you can have a party. My own thermocouple's reading 1031. No, actually 1039 now. It's going up fairly fast. This one is reading 891 inside the kiln. So that shows you what a difference. 894 now in the kiln, and mine is showing 1047. The the thermometer they have in here, the pyrometer, just wasn't accurate in this kiln. I think that's one of the things that you just have to play with it, because it is what it is. And it'd be nice if they had a more accurate thermocouple in there. We tested my own thermocouple. I got 2 of them, and both of them were the same. So we know that it's something to do with the actual sensor that they put in here. To 912 on their pyrometer. Mine is reading 1070. Now, there is no spy hole in these kilns, so the only way you know if the glaze is melted is by looking. So that's basically what I'm going to do in a little while, because I'm reading 1095 on my thermocouple. So we're up to 944 for them. I'm going to take a peek, because I want to see if the glaze is melting. The glaze is melted, so we can see shiny glaze on the piece, but I want to give it a couple of minutes. 960, it's there. And so this kiln's set at 960, will now soak at 960, 61, 62. It'll just be a little bit more. But we're ready, so I'm going to open my door, and I've got a lid that I'm going to put right on the pot as it's in there. So I can grab it and put it right on there. It's burning. You see it? That's why people like Raku, because it's real. It's what we're all about. We play with fire, all right? I mean, pottery is, we used to joke about the potters in the sixth form at Penston Grammar School in Yorkshire were all pyromaniacs, because we just enjoy the actual physical nature of the material, and then the amount of heat that we have to do with it, and the kiln firing. It's just an exciting type of process. And this is about as real as it gets. It's immediate. I glazed this piece, an hour ago. Dried it quickly. You could use a hairdryer to do that, of course. It was kind of fun putting it in the wood stove. But I think that I don't know how long to leave it in here. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I think the whole thing is supposed to be that the flames actually suck out the oxygen from the minerals that are actually in the clay and also in the glaze. The oxides lose their oxygen and basically go to pure metallic. So this should be a very metallic piece when it's finished. It's cooled down fast, so it's not burning. And then we have to put it in water. I have a rain barrel over there that I'm going to get to put it in. I'm going to put some, we've got it, and it looks pretty shiny. I'm going to take it indoors to see what it really looks like. It didn't blow up or crack. I'm going to get my garden hose and put out this smoke. Okay, can I pick it up? Okay, let's go wash it. Okay, so what do we have? I'd say that's pretty nice. First Raku. Now I'm a bit disappointed with this white crackle glaze because it was supposed to come out white. And there's a little blemish. I'm not sure what that is from. Probably from this glaze getting mixed up with there. But I did put it in the wood stove, remember, so there could be some carbon from the wood stove. But look at the bottom. That's really nice. I love that. I should have signed it. I'm not disappointed. It worked. I've got some blues. I got some kind of maroony purples in there, and some sort of dark blues, some browns as well. So it's really kind of pretty. So this kiln, I think it's around 400 and something. It is, I'm going to call it my party kiln now. So because I think that if I had half a dozen people over here, it took to get back to temperature maybe 10 minutes once you put the piece in. You know, a bunch of people over here glazing some bowls. I'd have to throw them first, of course, but but I could actually tell everybody dinner, chili, stew, whatever, and we're going to make some raku pots. Wouldn't that be a nice evening party? I think so. It's not a good idea to do this if you've got any risk of fire in your area. I did it right by my door with a garden hose there, and I had a lid, and I put it in on the inside so the flames were locked in there. I just put it on my gravel outside the door. So I think that was fine, but pretty nice. I've got 3 glazes. I'm going to play with this, but I've got a whole bunch of rain coming in from Melissa this weekend as it goes past Nova Scotia. Thank goodness we're not going to get the storm itself. We're going to have a party tonight. Let's see how much fun these people have playing with this little Raku kiln. Okay, if you enjoyed the video so far, I'm now going to show you how I made all of the tea balls, because I'm doing 2 videos on tea balls. This is the first one, but this is just how to make a few tea balls. Just enjoy. Okay, this one is done with my regular recycled clay, which is a mixture of my 455 speckle, my 516 white clay, and a little bit of B-mix occasionally gets into it. So I don't know if this will survive a Raku firing or not, but I'm doing one just to try. I may as well just do something to it, of course, since I want to make these a little interesting. So I'm just going to take this tool and whip it across the surface as it rotates very slowly. There we go. And I'm making these with the little bats that Bill Wright sent me if you're interested in. Because that way you do not distort the pot at all when you take it off the wheel. Okay, these little discs are what Bill sells from artisanpotterytools.com, and you just slot them down over the top and then you throw. As you can hear, this wheel makes a noise, so I have to turn you off on the audio on it while I'm throwing, and then dub over the top of it. So, because this is my really favorite Brent, but it has a squeak to it. So, anyway, let's go. This is real Raku clay, so it's going to be really rough on my hands, I'm sure.